Hello everyone! I am your lovely host Innocent, and welcome back to Innocent's Voice Acting Advice. Or, as I keep calling it, Eva, because I'm a nerd. Anyway, today's topic is audio recording for beginners. We'll be going over a few different audio recording softwares, and going into detail on how to use Audacity, the 100% free option in this very small list. We'll save that one for last since we can transition better. Okay, that sounds good. Awesome. Starting off, one of the best, not quite breaking the bank programs that I have used to record audio is Adobe Audition. If you know how Adobe works, you know that you get Audition and you can also get access to other programs for a monthly fee. But hey, if you already use Adobe, this is a great program and I exclusively use it now. Another good option is Reaper. I've only used the demo of this and frankly, it's amazing. At cheapest, the license for it is $60. And that's hella cheap. On top of that, the demo I told you about, that's the full program, no strings attached, for 60 days. For free, you also get full film tutorials on the program as well as access to a form if you need any help with it. If you're looking to upgrade from Audacity and don't want to pay $20 a month for Audition alone, then this is a steal. Okay, so here's what we've all been waiting for, the free option. Well, the best free option. There might be other free programs out there, but I can't guarantee that they work as well as Audacity. Audacity is a 100% free audio recording program that is probably the most recommended and popular one out there. The only downside that I can think of with this program is that it compresses your audio files more than any other program. But come on, it's free, trusted, and it works great. What more can you ask? Oh, a rundown on how to use it? Oh, sure thing! Now, this will be catered towards people who never touched a recording program before, but I'll be going over a lot, hopefully. So, thank you for your patience, and let's get started. Downloading it, you have the option of getting the installer or a zip file, and frankly, I have the zip file because I'm weird like that. Regardless, starting it up is like any other program out there, so we'll be greeted with the same thing. Okay, now that we have Audacity open, you're probably greeted with this, minus maybe some tweaks to things where they're placed. I'm not doing this part scripted, I apologize in advance if it's a little bit weird. Anyway, to start off, let's look at these buttons over here. This is going to be your most used button. It's the record button. This will record your audio and anything you say, at least when it's still on. We have the pause button. It does not, I think it works when recording. I don't use the pause button while recording often, so The play button, it plays things. The stop button, it stops things. This button makes it go all the way back to the beginning, little zero, and this one skips ahead in time. Amazing, right? Let's record something. Me, 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 I can sing. And then to stop it, you press stop, ta-da! Me, 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 I can sing. Amazing. Also, for play, you can press space, probably. Or you can loop it by pressing shift space. If you hover over anything, it can tell you. Now, let's get into these little buttons over here. This is the selection tool. It allows you to select things and just, select things. This will probably be the most used tool out of the bunch. I actually have rarely, if ever, gone off of this one tool when using Audacity. So, that says a lot. This is the, they say it's the envelope tool. I call it the fader tool because it allows you to do this and then this. It's a little bit finicky because I'm weird like that, but it allows you to get really natural slopes or anything, or if you have some peaking going on, it can help fix that because, let's face it, we've all done that before. Or if you have something really quiet and you just want that little part boosted, you can go like, hey, okay, we done did it. And of course we have the undo and redo tool. Sometimes Control Z won't work, especially for like the envelop tool or the draw tool. Speaking of the draw tool, I don't use this one ever because it literally forces you to go in really, really close to the audio until you can see this, and you can drag these places and draw with it. Yeah, no. I don't tend to deal with that one ever, so yeah. Also, this is the Fit Project tool. It fits the whole thing on your timeliney thingy. This is the other version of that. Stopwatch or sync tracks. Stopwatch. Close enough. This is one that you might be using relatively frequently unless you're like me and click these. But that's because I don't want to move tools that often. But this is the zoom tool. If you left click, it zooms you in. If you double tap your right click option, it zooms out. Sometimes it's double tap, sometimes it isn't, and I get confused. This is one that you might use a little bit more often than the others, is the time shift tool. It allows you to drag things. Ta-da! And the multi-tool. It's basically the envelop tool and the draw tool, I believe, and the line tool. So, that's fun. But let's stay on that one. Speaking of things, this is your output or playback level. Basically, whatever, if you're playing, it shows the levels of decibels and things like this. This is your recording level, so if I start monitoring, you can see that my decibel output is such, and I usually like to keep it around here at my loudest and over here at my quietest, but we all know that can change. And I edit all of my audio, so it's not anywhere near these things when it comes out of editing. So let's just turn that off for now. These are what you use to get your audio from. I use MME because that's the easiest. I have the recording device, which is from my USB Focusrite. And you would have whatever you plug into your computer to record. So like if you have a Blue Yeti, you plug in the Blue Yeti, it'll say Blue Yeti, woo! I have to record in mono. Usually if you don't have a XLR microphone or a condenser microphone, you would want to record in stereo. But since my microphone does not record in stereo, I have to record in mono, or else it's only coming out of the left channel, so nobody wants that. And whatever speaker you want to use to like actually listen to the audio playback, you know, that's kind of useful to have. Here's your mic volume or recording volume. 0.50 is usually just normal, regular volume, whatever you're monitoring at. You can, of course, raise it or lower it depending. Like, I used to use this quite a bit when I was using the Snowball because I didn't exactly have any gain control. So, you know. And, of course, playback volume, whoop-de-frickin-do. Going into this little module right here, we have this drop-down menu. You can name the track whatever you want, and it'll save as that, I believe. I don't remember, but yeah. You can, if you have multiple tracks, you can move them with this. You can see what kind of waveform you have. And you can look at the spectrogram, or spectrograph, or whatever you want to call it. So you can see that in here I have a little bit of noise. You're always going to get noise with whatever, oh, pardon me, I'm gassy, with whatever microphone you have, unless you are in a fully soundproofed room. But even then, you're probably going to be getting a little bit of feedback from your microphone because it's an electrical device and it can pick up little hums and things, like especially if you have your computer in the room, it could pick up your fan whirling or whatever. It's easy enough to get rid of that. I'll show you that in a little bit. But speaking, we'll just stay in the spectrogram for right now. You have the mono, left channel, right channel, so if you wanted to switch between stereo and whatever, that's how you can do that. So you can make it a stereo track, but I wouldn't recommend that, especially if you're recording in mono, but you can make, it's a lot easier to make stereo tracks mono than mono stereo. Let's just put it that way. You can format it in whatever you like. Generally, the higher quality, the better, especially with the rates. It's best to match the rate of your microphone to whatever it is. The most common rates are 4400 and 48. This one, these two. These are the most common hertz rates that you're going to encounter when dealing with microphones. So, generally just going to do that. So, for a moment, I'm going to get out of the spectrogram. General key fobs to do anything. Control A, Control All, it highlights everything. Control Z, undo. Control X, cut. Control C, copy. Control V, paste. Replace those with Command if you're on Mac, I think. I don't know Mac. But Control A highlights everything, and then you can go into effects here in Audacity, and there's a bunch of different effects that you can do. I like doing normalize to -1 decibel, and it makes everything louder. I'm not going to play it back again, it's just going to tell you that it's loud. But going back into the spectrogram, you can see that there's a lot of noise now. So to get rid of noise, any YouTuber you see on here gets rid of noise. Almost any voice actor needs to get rid of noise. So this is a very common thing to do. Thankfully, Audacity has something built in that you can do too. As you can see, there's noise reduction. You click on that, you highlight a part of your audio that's completely silent aside from the background noise that you have, and you get the noise profile. Then you Control A or select all of it, go back into your effects, back into noise reduction, and click OK, and you can see it reduces it. Now you can do this as many times as you want to get your desired effect, though I would say not to do it a lot because, well, you lose quality in here as well because it's only getting a spectrum, like it's copying the frequencies, and your voice may be the same frequency as some of these things. Now I've completely gotten rid of it, so let's take a listen to see how it is. Me, 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 I can sing. Now, as you could probably tell, I sound a bit flat in some of these areas because I completely reduced everything. And if I go back a little bit, you can see that there's a little bit filled out here more, it's filled out there, and as I'm going through, you're losing quality in some places, like over here, because the frequencies are gone. So you want to be very sparingly with, very sparingly with these things. I know Audition does it a bit better. As you can see, I have the spectrogram up already. It deals with frequencies a little bit better than Audacity, but again, this is the free option. So if you're going in with anything, I would say make sure that they're as low as you can get them without losing quality. So if anything, a silence button is a thing. This is the silence button, this is the I only want this area button, and they're very useful. Also, if you don't have access to your keyboard, you have the cut, the copy, and the paste tool right there. Bada bing, bada boom. Other general things that you might need in here for the effects to make your audio sound better is equalization. It equalizes things so you can have AM radio, telephone, walkie-talkie thing, whatever. Bass boost and treble boost are probably going to be your best friends, especially if you're a singer. They just kind of help you sound better because mics can't pick up everything perfectly. And each mic sounds different, or each mic picks up voices different than other mics. So if you wanted to, if you're relatively lower in tone, you might want a bass boost to make it sound a little bit better. If you're a female, you might want a treble boost to make it sound a little bit better. Just general things like that. Other things is the leveler. You can level out things a bit more unless, I don't know, you don't want that. Pitch change, speed change, tempo change. They're there if you need them. I use them in some recordings when I can't get my voice low enough because I'm a girl. I ain't no man. Click removal might be a little bit finicky with some people, but if you're a Let's Player on YouTube and you just need, you use your mouse a lot and it's a loud click, or you have a mechanical keyboard and it does a lot of click, this might help a little bit, though just padding would help a lot better. I already went through normalize. Fade in and fade out, they could be very beneficial to you, but I wouldn't use them here because it's a little bit finicky. Everything here is a little bit finicky, and you just kind of have to mess around with settings to know what you like best. Like, right now I know what I like best in here, and because I haven't used this in like over a year, I don't know what I like. That's just the truth. And of course you can analyze things, like if something is weird or you're listening to the song, you can find the beat or the tempo or anything like that. You can generate things like noise or chirps or whatever. You can add new tracks, mono, stereo, label, time, what have you. You can render and mix over here. You can transport. I rarely use this tab. View is an easier way to zoom in, zoom out, and fit to whatever, but we have buttons. Here's all your like editing tools and your preferences where you can change whatever you need to, so playback, whatever, tracks, modules, mouse. So that you can also see if you need anything changed, you can go and change that, I believe. I don't know, I never had the need to change anything. And file. You can open up new ones, it'll open up a new window and have this one in the background. You can open other files, you can see your recent files, you can save the project, but that'll just save the file as is. If you want to save this as an audio file, you're going to want to export the audio, and of course you get to name it whatever you need to. General rule of thumb, a WAV file is always going to be higher quality than an MP3 file, but some people would require you to send in MP3 files or WAV files. If they want you to send in a WAV file and you have the option between 16-bit and 32-bit, go with the 32-bit because it's a bigger file. Of course, if you don't have that much room on your computer or whatever and you need to do 16-bit, just do 16-bit. It's always rule of thumb, okay? Okay. But also, I think that's everything you generally need to know basics-wise about starting up Audacity. Of course, you can delete things like that, undo, bring them back, blah, 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 whatever. If you need help, there is a help menu. There's a manual you can go through, whatever. And there's quick help, same thing, but there's things if you need them. Online is a very vast place. Audacity has a lot of user manuals and user guided tools because it is done exclusively by volunteers. They get donations. So if you have extra money and you want to help them out, it helps them out with the coding and the branding and all that kind of things. I don't believe it's a for-profit company, so, well, for-profit, quote-unquote. I don't believe they're actually paying anyone. I think they're just putting all their money they get from donations back into this program and or to eat, because everyone needs to eat. I don't know what they do with donations. Anyway, that's the gist of this program. If you have any specific questions about it, leave it in the comments below and I'll answer you there. If you can see what I was doing, let me undo really quick. You can play by clicking here. Hi. But yeah, you can play things by clicking in places. And you can highlight places that want to loop or whatever. It's also just kind of finicky. I don't know what the right word is for this. You're just going to have to get used to it. But I think this is the best I can do as an overview to generalize the entire program. Again, this was meant for people who are literally just picking up the program for the first time and have never touched another audio recording program before. So if this wasn't your cup of tea, I'm sorry. I can make a more detailed, like, editing type video in the future, but for now this is just the basic look at Audacity since it's free, and in it basically is the same in almost any other program, just slightly different layouts and slightly different features. Yay. Anyway, I think that's about all that I can explain without boring you or repeating myself. So, happy voice acting!
We never speak of that. Anyway, if you liked what you just watched, feel free to click or tap here and it will take you to the latest video on my channel. Or you can let the YouTube algorithms choose a video it thinks you'll like. Magic! And of course, you can click or tap over here to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Come join the cult! We're always open to new members. Anywho, I hope to see you all soon. Peace out. Bye-bye!